Beto O'Rourke is running for president. The actual voting part of the process is a long time from now. But to the press corps, he is already a monarch, the king of cool, the first stoner American president. Chris Matthews, looking on at Beto O'Rourke, got the kind of tingles you'd have to stick a fork in a light socket to get. Watch this.
I always say the candidate wins who's got the sun in his face, who looks like sunny, optimistic, not the indoor bureaucrat sitting at some desk somewhere. That's the image you want. But being kinetic like that, I watched him on the campaign trail. I think it's part of his appeal. I think that liveliness, that physicality, that outdoorsiness seems to work with people. But it's not like we in the press created it. There's something out there that is magical.
Nobody talks like Chris Matthews. It's a skill, actually, I got to say. And that was the beginning of the Beto campaign. He's Bobby Kennedy, but he can skateboard. It started on a very high note. It could only go down, and it has. 24 hours into this candidacy, all is not well for America's hacky sack hero. He's got some great hookups for Sticky Bud, but that's not enough in the modern Democratic Party. Today, CBS News asked if Beto was out of place due to his race and sex. Watch this.
In this particular, with the Democratic candidates, there are more women and more people of color than ever before. Do you feel at a disadvantage as a white man? As a privileged white man, they say about you.
I don't feel at a disadvantage. This is a great moment for America. It's a great moment for the Democratic Party, and I count myself so lucky to be a part of it.
It doesn't stop there. The New York Times and The Atlantic complained that Beto's wife didn't speak in his announcement video. Why couldn't she talk? The Daily Beast says that he drips of male privilege. And wait a minute, he is a rich kid who went to boarding school as Robert. Isn't he culturally appropriating Mexican culture by calling himself Beto? Isn't he a kind of Elizabeth Warren of South Texas? Can he exist in the woke Democratic Party? Well, our next guest joins us tonight, and first we want to give him a victory lap. He is Nate Lerner. He's one of the people who convinced Beto O'Rourke to jump in the race, co-founded draftbeto.org. So congratulations to you, Nate Lerner, by the way, sincerely, that it worked. And by the way, as rollouts go, it was better than Howard Schultz's, that's for sure, and better than Amy Klobuchar's. But it does raise some questions, just who he is, because identity, of course, is the core of the Democratic Party. You have all kinds of capable female candidates, and you have all kinds of capable candidates of color. And here's this rich white guy who elbows his way to the front and says, shh, let me talk. Is that really the face of the modern Democratic Party? I didn't think it was.
Well, the whole point of the party is, we're the Rainbow Coalition. We have many faces. And what we want to celebrate right now is all the great candidates we have, all on full display, and especially in contrast to the Republicans that ran in 2016. It's quite a strong contrast and reflects very strongly in what our party represents, what we're about. And I think with Beto, what you have is someone who is an inspirational figure who's going to unite people, and that's what our party wants more than anything, and that's why I think he's going to be the front runner and will eventually win.
So it needs to be a rich white guy to unite your party? I kind of thought you'd move beyond that. I thought it was the Progressive Party. What's wrong with Kamala Harris?
It can be anybody. The point is that we have these strong candidates competing from all different walks of life, from all different backgrounds, and then we celebrate that fact, and then we look at those candidates and say, okay, which one is going to represent our values, which one is going to unite the party, unite the country, and be an inspirational figure. And I think all the candidates in their own way do that very well, but the one for me who stands out the most is Beto. And that's why I'm supporting it.
But it's just kind of weird because every time I watch CNN or MSNBC, they're always looking at the Republican field and saying, white guys, and that's obviously, a cursed category. Like, you don't want to be a white guy. That's bad, according to the Democratic Party. So why would they even run a white guy? And I'm asking sincerely, why would they? It's kind of insulting, isn't it?
So the problem is when you have, the Republican Party is a great example. When you look at pictures of Paul Ryan's interns and it's all, a bunch of white guys, that's not a great look. Same thing with the Republican Party in 2016. When it's the Republican Party in 2016, it's all a bunch of white guys. You look at Congress 10 years ago, it's all old white men.
Yeah,
that's not our country. That doesn't make sense. You want people that are reflective of the people and the values.
Then why are you backing the white guy? Why are you pushing in a field that's as diverse as the Democratic field is for the one young rich white guy with a fake name to jump in front of everybody else? Why wouldn't you say, hey, Beto, wait your turn? Why are you pushing the white guy if you're against white guys?
So first of all, what we want is a party that reflects all of us. And once we get to that point, we can then look at all the candidates and say, okay, which one is going to then be our standard bearer? And so I love the fact that we have the candidates running that we do, and I want them all to run. And I would be more than happy to call any one of them my president. No, I would be very okay with Kamala Harris, with Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, with Cory Booker.
Well,
I just happen to prefer Beto a bit more.
White guy too. Okay, but wait a second. If you really believe that the Republican Party is bad because it's dominated by white guys, you have a choice of who to support. I'm not being mean or anything.
No,
by the way, let me just be totally
understand.
clear. I think these criteria are insane and racist, and so I'm just reading Democratic Party talking points here. I don't believe them. I think they're crazy. But your party does believe them. And so I just wonder why you wouldn't personally strike a blow for diversity by supporting Cory Booker. I mean, obviously, he's a totally fraudulent person.
We've already struck a blow for diversity, though. We've already struck a blow for diversity with just the candidates that we have running, and now it's about saying, okay, great, we have all these great candidates. Let's, we're not going to make identity our sole issue. There's a lot of other issues on the table to consider.
So
and
it's
obviously,
enough
for
that
me
they
personally,
run. It's enough that they run. You just don't want them to win. I get it. No, I think I totally get it. So you want to be able to have them on the stage for the picture, but you don't want them to win. Okay.
I would be more than happy with them winning. I just happen to prefer Beto a bit more to some of them. But I would be more than happy to call any of them my president.
It kind of seems like the message you're sending. Do you think men are better leaders? That seems like the message you're sending, because it seems like you've got a really
I think Beto is a better fit for this time for our country. I think if you look at his message of unity, his ability to connect with voters from all walks of life, his ability to inspire, and his ability to beat Trump. For me, that's what matters, and that's why I'm supporting him. That's not to disparage any of the other candidates running in any way. I just happen to like him for those reasons. It's very simple.
Okay, so I've been mean to you for a reason. I don't mean it personally. Everything you said is totally fair. I'm just being honest with you. But don't you see how this identity politics garbage is a dead end, and it's deadening to the brain? And you really should support a candidate based on the qualities that you just explained, like the best candidate. Doesn't matter what color he is.
I think that
Don't you kind of look at revulsion? Aren't you repelled by your party's obsession with race and gender now?
I think anytime you get to the extreme in any position, it gets dangerous. If you look at the extreme opposite of identity politics, that's dangerous. If you look at extreme versions of identity politics, that's dangerous as well. Anytime you get into a radical position, then you see how you start walking a dangerous line. But there is an inherent value in identity politics.
The extreme opposite of identity politics
is the Republican Party.
Inequality. No, it's equality, which is the goal.
I think it's allowing for our current system to continue to push down minorities and those who are at a disadvantage.
By letting the one white guy in the field jump to the front of everyone else. Okay. Now I'm against you now. Now, I was for you, but now I'm actively voting for Cory Booker just because I want diversity in your party. Nick, thank you very much. And go
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks.